So next up, we have Willem from our RangeMe sister brand, and feel free to take it away.
Thank you, Bruno. Yeah, I'll be telling you a little bit about the RangeMe platform. I'm currently working on finding new partnerships within retail in the UK and in Europe. And the platform is really there to solve the problem of connecting with buyers. So a little bit on the foundation story of RangeMe. It is really about getting to shelf. Nikki Jackson, our founder and still CEO, currently based in Sydney. When she moved back to Australia, when she worked in London, but she moved back to Australia and founded a family. She got a daughter that developed some terrible rash, terrible eczema. And together with a pharmacist in Australia, she developed a natural skincare brand, basically, that worked wonders for her daughter. And with all her experience in retail and fast-moving consumer good, with the big fast-moving consumer companies like Kellogg's, like Britvic, she thought, okay, this is an awesome product. It works wonders for my daughter. Everybody should get access to this product. So with her knowledge, with her network, with her expertise, she set out in the Australian market to try and get listings. But she kind of ran into a wall with that one, because as a very small brand, up and coming brand, it was extremely hard for her to actually get a conversation with a buyer. And this is basically the foundation, the origin story of RangeMe. She decided, okay, let's skip the brand. We need to find a way that helps brands connect with retail buyers. And thus RangeMe was born. So what we currently do is we create a way for suppliers, for brands to submit their products for evaluation to retail buyers, and helping them to discover what is next, what is going to be the next major item on their shelf. This is an image. It sparks an aha erlebnis with basically everybody who looks at this from a fast-moving consumer perspective, with the buyer at the center, and on the left-hand side, the buyer is being bombarded by phone calls, by social media outings, getting Excel files, PowerPoint demonstrations, even random samples sent to the office in order to basically for suppliers to get some airtime with this buyer. What we have done, we've created a funnel, basically a way to submit in a standardized format via RangeMe to a retailer, and then they will evaluate based on the categories they're responsible for. On the other end, the platform is basically a vast discovery hub. We've got over 200,000 suppliers on the platform already, about 20,000 from Europe. And it offers just a vast network for suppliers and buyers to connect. If you create a profile, it is kind of like LinkedIn. Set all your data in there correctly in a standardized format, and buyers will be able to filter through and select basically in 30 to 60 seconds, get an idea of what the product is and if this is something they can continue forward with. To give you an idea of the partners we work with, I already mentioned that we've started off in Australia. After a year, we moved over to the US, and about 80% of the top 100 US retailers use RangeMe as their product discovery platform. So besides the UK names you see right here as Tesco, Asda, Co-op, Lloyds, Boots, there are major grocers in the US and in Australia that use the platform for their onboarding and product discovery. And again, across all categories. So grocers, there's health, there's pet, a lot of beauty as well. Bed Bath & Beyond is one of the partners. So in DIY, there's even an angle. So there's different ways and different categories that are being covered. Overall, I think we're at 44 main categories that diverge into about 1,700 subcategories for buyers and suppliers to populate. Before diving into the actual platform demo, I want to show you this one. This is our partnership with Tesco. And just to demonstrate what a route looks like. So whenever you would like to submit your products to Tesco, you'd go to submit your products, open up this one, and basically find yourself on a landing page of rangeme.com/Tesco. You can either create a free profile if you do not have one just yet. Within this flow, there are also custom questions, and this is something to be mindful of. These questions are there to on top of the regular information we collect, the regular data points we collect. And these are questions especially inputted by buyers, by the buying team, the product discovery teams of these retailers. Do take some time to answer these. I know Co-op had a question in there that says something along the lines of, how are you considering sustainability? Because Co-op is looking to be carbon neutral by 2040. And if you then answer with very, you really won't stand out. These are some very important topics to these retailers. This is your chance to shine. Take some time to answer these questions to the best of your ability and really stand out. Now, for the platform itself, this is a buyer's view. So I'm going to show you what a buyer will go through, how they can select a profile, select the categories, and how they can browse the website. First off, their settings. As I mentioned, there's about 44 categories, 1,600 subcategories, and it's really quite easy for a buyer to just dive in, select what is relevant, save, and have their whole experience revolve around these categories only. As I mentioned, there's over 200,000 suppliers on here. We always work with the buyers to make sure their profiles are up to date, that they're looking at the right categories, and that they then are exposed to the right innovation. They can also save searches. So whenever they've got a certain set of parameters they're looking for, they can save this search. And when anything new hits the platform that hits that search, they will be notified. And below, they can set their notification. That also includes messaging with a supplier. So for a supplier, it's important that the way you're going to be noticed by these buyers is by submitting to these retailers for evaluation. These buyers are protected, are privately protected, so it's not an open conversation just yet. Once a buyer reviews your product and starts a conversation, that is when the dialogue commences. There's also sample settings. So whenever a buyer hits a sample request button, you'll know who to send it to, what the instructions are, where it needs to go, what building, what floor, address to whom. And this way, the samples do get to the right address and the right person. Here, I'm going to go to the browse page. This is basically where all the magic happens. So this is where discovery happens. On top, there's a Google search bar. Basically, you can type in anything you look for. Barcode information, product information, trend information. There's also collections. So a buyer could potentially look at what's trending on Instagram within the categories they're responsible for. They select this one. They will get 100 brands with 100 products that have been doing well on Instagram in the past month. And the Instagram's accounts are the ones that are added to these profiles. So looking at a brand, and this is where it kind of becomes like LinkedIn. So you've got a bit of a profile of the company itself. Right here, the information of the business itself, the social feeds, the listings. And this is something buyers really love, knowing, okay, my competitor has got this products on their shelf. What am I missing out on? Profile information right here. So you can tell a bit more about the company, add a video if you'd like to, just to give some more body, some more feel to the profile. And on a product level, they can then dive in and have a look at pricing, the trade shows they attend. Certifications is also a key one, so you can add all relevant certifications. And we've just done our 2021 digest. I'll be happy to share that with you, with the certifications that are most searched by buyers. And it is really a key item to use in your product profiles. Again, it all dives deep into what the product is about, up until barcode information, product ingredients, potentially a marketing spend in some pictures. And we always give the opportunity for a buyer to save, to sample, and to message. And it doesn't really matter what the brand is you click into, buyer will always have the same overview and the same way of getting the information they require. So in a nutshell, this is what RangeMe is and how it's being used by buyers. It is truly a platform where you can build your own profile, add the products you want to submit for evaluation. There's also campaigns, so limited time campaigns that we often do besides the standard links we have with these retailers. These limited time campaigns are often focused on a certain category, a certain question, a certain range of view they're looking for. So you will always be up to date and up to speed when to submit and when it is relevant for a buyer to be exposed to your products.
First of all, thank you. I think it's a brilliant platform. If I was a buyer myself, I'd be using it. Likewise, if I was a supplier.